We meet a group of very chill dancers. They are the performers of Ice Dance International, a Maine-based company bringing ballet to the ice. And sometimes they bring the ice with them, as they did in our own studio. Here they perform Back Bay Shuffle. Thank you both so much for joining us and for the gorgeous performance right here in our studio.
Thank you for having us.
Amazing.
So this isn't dance, this isn't figure skating. What is it?
Well, Ice Dance International is a professional performing arts company that really the vision is to build a bridge from sport to art. And we aspire to be like a Boston Ballet, a repertory dance company, but on ice. So.
Well, what is the distinction? Is there a difference in putting dance on ice? I mean, there is a tremendous amount of athleticism for the ice, of course.
Sure, and there's athleticism, of course, for ballet and for any kind of dance. I think that we aspire for the same goals, but I think the only difference is the ice and the sense that we don't have friction. We're with an ease of glide and an ease of flow. And that's the real difference. And I think that's also the difference that makes skating a true art form, is the sense of flight. And our show's called In Flight.
Well, Ian, what's your background and how has it morphed into ice dance?
So I was competitive internationally for the USA for about 10 years. When we're out on the ice, we don't have to worry about the judges anymore. And now we can worry about, we can look to performing our best to try to move our audience in various different ways.
And how would you describe what you're doing now versus what you've done before in the competitive world? Artistically.
Artistically, well, in the competitive world, the maximum length is about 4 minutes that we have to tell a story, so we're not, we're only limited to the time of the show that we're able to provide, and, that gives us a lot more storytelling opportunities, as well as being able to hold things longer and really connect with our audience in a different manner.
You're doing full-length ballets.
We are. Well, we haven't done a full-length Nutcracker or a full-length Romeo and Juliet, but we do full-length repertory pieces, some of which are 10, 11, 12 minutes long. But this show that you'll see if you come to the show in Boston, we're doing a selection of shorter pieces. So they sort of max out at about, well, the Moby piece is 10 minutes. But most of them are 6, 7 minutes, and the variety moves along. The music's like Max Richter, Philip Glass, Artie Shaw, trying to find those parallels to ballet and the
there are major choreographers who are now working in
Sure.
ice dance. Who are some of them?
Well, we're lucky enough to have founded our company with Edward Villela, who, of course, is George Balanchine's protege and went on to found the Miami City Ballet. His wife, Linda, was a Canadian figure skating champion, and she went to the Olympics in '68. But we also work with Trey McIntyre, who has a piece in our company.
Yep.
Trey is incredibly famous and prolific right now in his choreography. He just made a piece for the Houston Ballet and also the San Francisco Ballet. So,
Well, talk to me. I'm intrigued about what you said a moment ago, just the lack of friction.
Yeah.
And so you're glad you can move in a way that you couldn't on a traditional stage. What does that feel like?
Being able to take one step and for it to take you the entire length of the stage offers that feeling of flight, that feeling of like floating through space. So it is very different. We work on tracks too, so it's unless we're standing still, it's very linear. We're either going backwards or we're going forwards versus being able to have like all of our cardinal directions.
How much of your body are you using?
All of it. All of it. Should be.
yeah, it's a 360-degree way of moving in skating, and that's different from the sort of 70s, 60s, 70s style of figure skating and dance. It's really moving into a much more modern, contemporary style.
I was remarking when I came into our own studio that it's weird to be standing on ice in
Yeah.
ice skates, but not have it be 30 degrees or 20 degrees. How do you feel the atmosphere, the environment when you come onto these surfaces?
Like plastic versus
Well, yeah,
ice,
I guess
or
I should
like,
clarify
yeah.
that you haven't created ice in our studio. What are we standing on?
So it's
Well,
it's
it is actually Easy Glide 350. It's a synthetic polymer surface that is a plastic skating surface. So we use this regularly for galas and corporate type events. We don't generally perform on it, but last summer we did do a performance at Jacob's Pillow and created some of the repertoire you'll see there for the Jacob's Pillow Inside Out Festival.
What's the drive to do this, to invent something new, to change the form?
Sure. Well, I think ultimately it started with John Curry back in '76, and it's had multiple sort of incarnations through this time. The drive for me is to remember John Curry and remember he passed away, but remember the art form that he created.
And what is it like to participate in this and knowing that you're launching something? It's always wonderful to go back throughout art history and see these moments where new art movements and forms are created, and you're part of it.
Yeah, it's an honor. It's a great honor to be a part of all of this.
Okay, without my permission, my producers have signed me up for something. Might not end well. What are we doing here? You're laughing. I already don't like this.
No, you're going to have a fun time. It's in the piece that's coming up, Luminous, we have a lift that the ladies fly away from the guys, and the forces will take you. It's a beautiful lift, and it'll be a fun ride for you. So have a good time.
We got you.
Okay, all right. I hope so. Okay. Sorry, as I take you all down. Thank you.